So our first story is about rumors of a fight between Kamaru Usman and Conor McGregor. It started with this tweet from Front Page MMA, who tweeted this early morning yesterday. With Jorge Masvidal seemingly turning his attention to Nate Diaz, Ali Abdelaziz has offered Conor McGregor a 170-pound title shot against Kamaru Usman. The UFC are reportedly trying to book this fight for July 11th, early stages. Now, a few hours after this tweet, Brett Okamoto from ESPN tweeted this. Per manager Ali Abdelaziz, if Jorge Masvidal were to ask the UFC for a Nate Diaz BMF rematch over a Kamaru Usman title fight, they would ask the UFC to offer the 170-pound title shot to Conor McGregor for a chance to win his third title. Now, Ali also tweeted this. It looks like the number one contender wants to fight Nate Diaz now. Good for him. At Conor McGregor, hey, you want a title shot? Come to daddy. Usman will give you one and he promises the first 2 rounds without takedowns and only slaps. Now, 2 days ago, Jorge Masvidal did call out Nate Diaz to run it back, which Nate Diaz has responded to a day later. Nate Diaz quoted one of his old tweets about Masvidal and said, "Pull up then," which Masvidal responded with, "Hope you upgraded your abs routine, #super necessary." Now, Jorge Masvidal has shared an article to his official Facebook page. It's still up, you can check to verify at this moment. The article is from fightbible.net and it reads, Kamaru Usman is asking for a guaranteed payday of $3.5 million in order to fight Masvidal during the quarantine, or otherwise he will sit on the sidelines until 2021. Now, I don't know how credible this article is, but Jorge Masvidal did share it, so. Next up, we got Jorge Masvidal's manager, Abe Kawa, talking about what's next for Jorge. Speaking to MMA Junkie Radio, Abe Kawa doesn't specify who Masvidal will fight next. He just says that he will fight somebody. Here's the clip.
Man, I'll tell you, this is one of the craziest setups I can kind of put out there. I definitely know Jorge wants to fight somebody. I could tell you. He definitely wants to fight somebody. That person is, we're all going to find out very shortly. I don't want to give too much away, but I will say Jorge's been a man of his word since I've known him. He's never lied or said something and then something else happened. He's not that kind of guy. When he says, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, that's what happens. He gave somebody his word, so we'll see. We'll see. I can't say too much right now, but it's going to be fun. I can't give you too much, man. Not right now. I can't do it. It's not the right time for that. But Jorge's in camp. He's training. He's ready to rock and roll. So we'll be looking forward to a fight, whether it's in July or a little bit later. That'll be fine too. But he's absolutely ready to rock and roll.
Our next story comes from Nate Diaz, who has fired back at Jon Jones. A little context, Nate Diaz proclaimed himself the GOAT a couple days ago, to which Jon Jones responded with this. Now this guy's the GOAT? This is just starting to get ridiculous. Well, Nate Diaz responded with this today. No one's going to remember your fights, with the needle emoji poking fun at Jon Jones' PED history. Our next story comes from Alex Volkanovski, who called out Henry Cejudo. Cejudo retired at UFC 249, but has said the only fight that would bring him back would be against the featherweight champ. Well, Volkanovski is interested. He tweeted, "Let's do it then, boy." Moving on, speaking about Henry Cejudo, the bantamweight title has officially been vacated on the UFC website. Our next story comes from Eddie Alvarez. Speaking to the Score MMA, Eddie says he can relate to Donald Cerrone in the fact that they both got a little caught up in the moment in their fights against Conor McGregor.
Yeah, man, this fist fighting, right? Like, I don't. So many people try to make sense. Like, even when I fought Conor, I'm like, I sat back for like a couple weeks trying to make sense of what went on, and then I just like kind of smacked myself. Like, you're in a fist fight, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many variables and so many ways to lose that like fans try to dissect it and they try to go, oh, if this would have that. Like, they try to do this math to try to make sense of what they're watching. And the truth is, there's no sense to be made. You're in the most volatile, most uncertain area of life inside of a cage fighting another guy. There's so many ways to lose. So I felt bad for Cowboy because I know what it's like to be in that situation, to not be your true self, to not go out there and show who you are. That's not Cowboy Cerrone. We know what Cowboy Cerrone is and what he can do. And I empathize with him in a way. Like, man, we didn't get to see fully him and do his thing. But, Conor came out and put on another hell of a show. So
our next story comes from Alistair Overeem. Speaking to Ariel Helwani, Overeem says he's targeting a return in August and wants Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
How soon do you want to return?
Yeah, I'm thinking August, September would be nice. I'm gonna have a couple weeks to heal up. Cut 2-3 bruises, not too bad, but I do need to take my rest. I do need to kind of, I want to spend some time with my girls, my family. It's been 5 weeks that I didn't see him. Yeah. Then I saw him 2 weeks, and then before that also 5 weeks. So it was basically 2 camps together. So quality time first, and then we're gonna slowly head back to Denver and yeah, then I'm thinking August-ish, September fight again.
And perfect world, Jairzinho?
Well, yes, I would like to run it back.
Okay.
And then finish him.
Right.
Easy.
Our next story comes from Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Speaking MMA crazy, Stephen Thompson seems interested in a fight against Leon Edwards and talks about how a fight with him would go down.
I'm always looking for the hardest opponent, and that's just me being a martial artist. I don't fight for the money. That's just a bonus. I would fight for free, to be honest with you. So I think Leon Edwards is the better, well-rounded fighter. Colby Covington's got the wrestling. His striking's not all that good. I think Leon Edwards' striking is way better. And you see from Leon Edwards' fights in the past, he fought Vicente Luque. He was taking him down. He did the same thing to RDA, was using his wrestling to control RDA. So he's getting good everywhere, you know, and those are very difficult guys to prepare for because you don't know where the fight's going to go. Well, I think he would definitely use his wrestling in the fight, so I got to prepare for that. Most of the guys that I fight look for that later on in the rounds. But most of all, you know, he's got very high-level Muay Thai, so I would have to prepare for that. I think the goal would be to keep the fight standing and keep it there. You know, I think everybody who faces me knows where I'm going to keep the fight. But I'm evolving and getting better with my wrestling every day. So you may see some takedowns, you know, from Wonderboy. I think it's been a while since anybody's seen a takedown from me. So
our next story comes from Darren Till, who commented about Colby Covington. Speaking on the Eurobash podcast, Darren Till praises Colby for being a great fighter and says he's heard that Colby's actually a good guy behind the persona.
He said he liked me in MSG, the lion twat. Now, mate, listen, this is how it is with Colby. Yeah, I'm on a because this is where it is. A lot like I'm not dumb, mate. Yeah, I'm a simple man, but I'm not dumb. The big act Colby does and whatever, it doesn't affect me, mate. It doesn't affect me what he says. So this is how I see the Colby thing. Yeah. Colby is one of the best MMA fighters right now in the UFC.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That fight with Usman, I want to see Colby Usman too. This is it, mate. It's all on that because I've heard from very close people that he's actually an okay guy. So there's that end. But mate, I can talk as well. Like I remember, I messaged him that message. Like it was in 2018, and he's like, "Hey man, thanks for the support." I was like, "What support? Here's a fucking shit. That's what you look like." So it's mate, there's nothing to it. Like you want to talk some shit, okay? There you go. You've been destroyed, mate. I destroyed you. There's no comeback. But that's how it is, mate. But let's not look over the fact that he is an unbelievable fighter and his worth ethic.
Our next story comes from Edson Barbosa. Speaking to Ariel Hawani, Barbosa wants to return in July and possibly fight at 155 or at 170 next.
When do you want to return?
July,
and
as soon as possible. I was not too bad. I'm ready to back to train. I talked to my coach today. I'm healthy and I'm ready to fight as soon as possible. July, end of July, I'm ready to fight. And I know UFC promised to fight end of July. UFC, please, I'm ready to fight end of July.
And 155 or 45, you're open to either?
Depends. Because it's still hard. It's not easy. Make 145. You know, I was suffering a lot. Not a lot, but I suffering to make 145. Makes sense still suffering like that for the company. Don't show me any love, you know? They show me, man, I worked for UFC for 23 fights, you know? If UFC show me some love, yeah, I will make 145, 155. I don't care. Whatever UFC send me. But, okay, UFC, we're going to do nothing for you. Maybe I fight 170 or 155. I don't care.
Our next story comes from Dan Ige. Speaking on the UFC Unfiltered podcast, after beating Edson Barbosa, Dan Ige wants to fight guys like Yair Rodriguez or the Korean Zombie next.
To be honest, you put me in a fight with anybody, it's a great fight from a matchmaker standpoint. Obviously, I want to keep fighting and working my way to the top. You know, I'd like to go out there and face a guy like, you know, someone like a Yair or Zombie, but I know these guys don't want to fight guys under them, really, but even like a Stevens, I believe is a little bit above me, but he's coming off a couple losses, but he's still above me. I just want to keep fighting the best guys, the top guys, to show that I'm capable and that I'm one of the best for sure. Yeah, I'm sitting at number 11 now, which is pretty awesome. So it honestly doesn't really matter. I don't have any bad beef with anybody that I want to call out and fight this guy or that guy. I just want to keep fighting the best guys and keep winning and build my win streak up and, you know, eventually get to the title and win the title.
That about wraps up the video for today. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and peace.